Hey guys, this is a start of another reading vlog. It's Thursday. I did film on Wednesday. Yesterday I filmed like a 30-second wrap up to last week's vlog. I'm currently in the middle of editing it. I'm almost done editing it. I think it's one of the best edit jobs I've done. I'm trying to experiment with a couple things, to try to make it a little bit more fun, but I'm not that great at it, but we'll see. It's almost done. I was almost done editing it before I left because I'm currently in my car. Waiting to go meet my friend for lunch, and the said friend called me right before, like half an hour before I had to leave, and was talking to me, and I was like, oh my god. So I didn't get a chance to finish it. So I'll finish it when I get home and get it set to upload for tomorrow. But I realized it's shorter. It's only going to be about a half an hour long instead of an hour, which, okay. And most of it is clips of Thanksgiving and then Danielle's basketball. I mean, there is clips of me talking about reading, of course, but it was such a busy week. I didn't read as much, and I didn't film as many clips. But I'm current little reading update before I go in for lunch. Let's see. I am Shadow of What Was Lost. I'm reading that one currently, obviously, still. I have not done today's reading. I think today will put us up to 500, I think. Around 500. I can't remember. The book's not in front of me. I think it's around 500. I don't think we're up to 550 yet, but 500. Someone's coming, and they're getting into the car right next to mine, so we're just going to pretend like we're not filming and wait until they leave. Okay, so that I'm still really fucking enjoying. It's getting really intense now. Like, we're getting to the climax. Shit's starting to go down. And I already have a feeling we're not going to get all the resolution we need. And Cindy and I have already planned that when we're done with this one, we're each going to buy the next one and probably start that near immediately. I also started Ask Again Yes by Mary Beth Keane. I'm buddy reading that with V, who is one of my subscribers. The buddy read is a little harder than I do with Cindy, because Cindy lives in Canada, but she lives, she's only 3 hours ahead of me. Because she lives in Eastern Canada. But V lives in Europe, and so she's got a 9-hour difference between her and I. So that makes it a little rough, because by the time I get up in the morning and start reading, it's close for her to go to bed. She goes to bed early like I do, and so it makes it tough. But we're still doing it. That one has been interesting so far. I am 114 pages into that one. It's definitely a literary fiction, deals with some heavy topics, mental illness, like just in 114 pages. Lots of mental illness, parental abandonment. God, what else? A little bit of alcoholism. It's pretty intense. It starts in 1974 and then progresses through life. We're following the story mainly of Kate and Peter, who are neighbors, and their dads are both police officers, and they worked in the same precinct. And then one of them got transferred, excuse me. And then Peter's family ended up moving in right next door to Kate's. Kate has her mom and dad and 2 older sisters, where Peter is the only child, and his mother suffers from mental illness. And his dad is one of those ones that kind of ignores it and sweeps it under the rug. It hasn't been expressly said on page, what the mental illness is, but my guess is that it is bipolar disorder, just from describing it. The big event that tears the families apart just happened, and it was a major one. I'm not going to spoil it, but damn. So this already is starting to be a very dark contemporary, because this is a contemporary literary fiction. It already seems very dark, and I think the whole purpose of the book is to tell Kate and Peter's side-by-side stories, because they were best friends and super close all the way through childhood. And on the night that the big event happens, they snuck out of their house at midnight and kissed for the first time. They were like 13, 14 years old. And you can tell that they're very, very close, and then now their families are ripped apart. So I think it's going to be the journey of each character until they can reunite again. So kind of like a literary fiction about family and mental illness and trauma, and then with also an underlying love story. So far, I enjoy it. It's not too bad. It's pretty readable. It's just very dark and it's heavy. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's my little reading update. Yeah, vlogging in my car while people walk by. I didn't think I'd ever get to this point in my life. But anyways, yeah, I'm going to go in and have some lunch, and then I will catch up with you guys probably after I read my pages for Shadow of What Was Lost today, because I read my Ask Again Yes pages first so that I could talk to V, because she's so far ahead of me. But Cindy, I can read like in the late afternoon, evening, and still be able to talk to her. So I'll read those when I get home, and I will show you the Funko Pops I've opened the last couple of days. So first I got Harry and then Ginny, and then the last 3 days I've gotten Fleur. What's his name? Oh my gosh. Why? Victor Crumb. And then today I got Professor McGonagall. So I'll show you when I get home. But yeah, I will check in with you guys a little later. Hey guys, it is now, what's today, Friday? It's my Sunday. Excuse me. It's my Sunday. Matt just left for work. He got called in early. I have spent most of my morning, I was actually started an audiobook. I got up really early, woke up at 5 on my Sunday. That's how my day's going. I fell asleep really early last night. I was just super tired, and my body has a hard time staying up late on my weekends. So I was up at 5, so played around on my phone for a bit, and then I just started a random audiobook. I can't remember what it's called. It's something about serial killers. It's like a 9-10 hour audiobook, maybe a little bit more. I can't remember. But it's written by a guy. It's a nonfiction written by a guy who I guess is like an authority on serial killers. And so the intro and the first couple of chapters are about the different types of serial killers, how they're classified. It talks a little bit about certain ones or whatever. So I don't know as it goes on if it's going to go in depth on some of the bigger serial killers or what. Not sure, but it was just something to listen to while I was laying in the dark while the rest of my house was asleep, because I didn't want to turn on any lights and all that shit. So it was just easy to put on while I was playing on my phone. Then while I ate this morning and stuff like that and had my coffee, I watched a couple booktube videos, and I just finished my reading for today for both of my buddy reads. So In the Shadow of What Was Lost, I am almost page 500, like 493. I could read one more chapter and get up to just over 500, but I'll wait until Cindy responds. Like, I'll let Cindy know that I've read to there and see if she wants to go a little bit further or just stop there. Because we're doing 50 pages a day, and I think the next break is 511. So it's like a 15 page chapter. So it'll put us kind of way over where the next stop would be like 550. So I'll wait and ask her and see what she has to say. But yeah, Shadow What Was Lost, still loving it. This 2 storylines are starting to converge. The time travel aspect that I've mentioned with the one character, he's now back in the correct time where he's supposed to be, but he's separated from everybody else. So now he's got to come back to them. The other ones that were traveling on the road, they went separate ways. So we've got 2 over here, 3 over here. The 3 in the palace have now gotten together. So that's where Asha is. So now she's kind of combined. So things are starting to come together. I think we're getting close to the climax where the big fight against the ancient evil is going to happen. And this is only book 1. There's 2 more books in the series. I ordered book 2 last night because Cindy already did. And so I did because we're going to want to continue it pretty quick after. The only qualms I have with it is that I want to start it because, this book is so good, I want to continue. And by the time I finish the second book, the third book will be out. The third book is out in 6 days. So we should have no problem with that. The only issue is I have 2 other buddy reads going this month. One I've already started, and Vicky and I are starting ours on Sunday, I believe, because she was trying to finish another book first. So I have 3 buddy reads going at the same time. Like, I haven't picked up any other physical books because with the 2 buddy reads going, plus I'm going to be picking up Winter Garden with Vicky on Sunday, I'm not going to have, like, any time to read anything else. And I really don't want to start a 4th book. Like, I should have already started Ninth House. Like, I already have the dust jacket off and all that and a bookmark in it ready to go. But I'm afraid to start it with all these other ones going. So I told Cindy, like, I want to wait until at least, like, my Ask Again Yes buddy read is done, and like maybe partway through Vicky's till we start the other one, so that I'm not bogged down and the other 2 will drop off and be done, and then I can just read our 50 pages a day in that one and then read the other books on my TBR, because that's a lot. Buddy reading 3 and then reading a 4th one on top is a lot, and having that many stories going at once, that would make 1 historical fiction, 1 literary fiction, and a fantasy, and then swap out the fantasy for another thick fantasy. Like, then I need to read Ninth House, which is another, like, paranormal fantasy thriller, whatever. Like, it's just a lot and a lot of different genres, and it takes me a second to get back into it and remember where I'm at in each story. So with Ask Again Yes, which the dust jacket's off, obviously, I read today's, and I'm on page 163, I had to think. Page 163 with this one, so about almost halfway through, because it's not a very long book. This book is tragic. Like I said yesterday, it's very much setting up a tragic love story that started in childhood and like having to go through all this shit to get to the end. So far, it's dealt really heavily with mental illness, like I talked about. It still hasn't been named what the mental illness is. Like I said, I think it's bipolar disorder, but I'm not sure because it hasn't actually been said. I don't think she has schizophrenia, but it just seems very bipolar with the very manic, very depressive traits. But we'll see. We're following Kate and Peter and their families, and it's pretty tragic. It's like, I saw somebody else. Who was that? Was it Sam? Yeah, it was Sam at Thoughts on Tomes. She made a comment in one of her videos recently about how she doesn't like literary fiction that much anymore because everything is either most literary fiction, she said, is like really heavy with the heavy topics, and everything is bad, 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 and there's never anything good or any hope. And this book is kind of starting out like that. While I think there's going to be a happy ending, V does not. She thinks that everything's going to go really terrible. I'm hoping it doesn't. I think it's more going to be a story where it's going to be terrible for a while, but then at the end, everything will get better. We'll see. It's not bad. I'm enjoying it. It's easy to read. The story's interesting. I'm curious to see what these characters are going to go through. I mean, we've followed them since they were like very small children. Now they're around senior in high school, and the time lapse is going a lot faster. I think it's trying to get them to adulthood where the more important stuff's going to happen. But yeah, that's my little reading update. So I will flip you around here in a minute and show you the Funko Pops that I've gotten over the last couple of days because I haven't really been doing it on camera. But yeah, I think I'm going to make myself some lunch because it's almost noon, and then I have like 2.5 hours until my kids get home, and we don't have anything going on today, so, which is nice because tomorrow Danielle has a doubleheader basketball game, so, and then the week after that is a tournament, and then she's done with basketball, so then I am free until March, which will be kind of nice. We'll have no sports until March. She was supposed to do 3 tournaments in January, but her coach sent out an email this morning that said, we're not doing any of the tournaments in January, which really bums me out because what you pay in the league is you get paid to do an extra tournament. And so I'm really kind of upset that they're not doing one, or she's not trying to, because she's really gung-ho. And the one tournament in LeConner that she wanted to do, which is a town over, not enough teams in Danielle's age bracket, the 6th graders, signed up, so they can't do a tournament. And the one that's up north, that's like about an hour drive, it filled up way too fast, so we were too late to get into it. So she's just pretty much throwing in the towel, which kind of bums me out because for this league, it's a select basketball league, and it costs like 160, no, it was 180, maybe 160, 180, somewhere between there just for her to play. So for me, it kind of pisses me off. It's like, okay, well, that's supposed to include entry into a tournament like that they usually play in January after the Christmas break, and now we're not going to do that, so it kind of bums me out. But yeah, so I guess only 2 more weeks of basketball and that's over. So, I mean, that today is just going to be a lazy day. I've read my pages already. I think I'm going to watch a little TV, catch up on like the booktube stuff that's gone up today. Like Chelsea from Chelsea Darling Reads is catching up on her wrap-ups that she hasn't put up in the last couple months. I know some people are doing Vlogmas or Bookmas, so they're putting up videos every day. So it's kind of fun just to check it out and stuff. But yeah, I'm going to do that and then just kind of hang out and chill. Probably should shower before the kids get home. But I'm just going to enjoy the quiet and just hang out at home since I've got my Buddy Reads done for today. I mean, I guess I could pick up Ninth House and start it. I'm just afraid of starting it and then not having the time to read it. So I guess we'll see how it goes. But I will flip you guys around and show you the Funkos. Okay, so I don't know how great that lighting is. But so day 1, so here's Harry. And day 2 is Ginny, which I showed you. So day 3 was Fleur. And then day 4 was Victor Crumb. So yesterday was Professor McGonagall, and today looks like is Professor Snape. I don't think that could be anybody else. So I've just been kind of lining them up on Becca's candles. Becca's candles are amazing from Becca at the Books. GraceandHoney.net if you want to order her candles. They are so absolutely amazing. Like, I love them. Like, I have a lot. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I've got 7, 8. Yeah, I have 8 of her candles. But there's the Funkos. So I will kind of line them up. So the first 12 days will go here. I've been putting them on top of her candles until I can figure out where to put them. But yeah, those are the Funko Pops for the first 6 days. They're really cute. I'm really loving them. But yeah, I will talk to you guys in a little bit. It's facing me, not you. Hi guys, it's Sunday. Danielle is currently cleaning the litter boxes and making a lot of noise doing it. Stop! Just clean it! You have 2 chores! 2! God.
If it makes that squeaky sound one more time,
If you make it squeaky sound one more time. You're gonna cry if it makes a squeaky sound?
No.
Seriously. Okay, I did an update yesterday because I was busy. Danielle had 2 games yesterday, and she won both of them. She's
First place.
Yes, you are in first place. Yeah, they ended the season undefeated and seeded first. So the league tournament is next week, and they get a first round bye because they placed first. I only took 1 video because I was so intense on the game because the games were really close. What was the first game? 22-20 or 24-20?
No, I think it was 14-12 or 20.
No, it was in the 20s.
Yeah,
I think it was 20. Maybe it was 20-18.
No, it was.
You guys won by 1 basket.
Yeah.
The first game. I think it was 20-18.
No, it was like 24-22.
It was 24-20. Either way, it was somewhere around there, and they won by a basket. And then the second game was 24-23. They won by 1 point. It was so stressful. And it's hard because, like, the kids, the teenagers, referee the games, and some of them, not all of them, and they don't call anything. They struggle. They're afraid to call certain things, and some of the coaches for the other teams are really nasty, which isn't fair. But for me, it's like if girls are getting hurt because they're fouling like really aggressively and they're not calling it, that pisses me off. Like I don't like seeing girls go flying across the floor because they're being tripped or like barreled into. I know, and it's clearly a foul. But I took 1 video, and it's like one of the best shots that Danielle's ever done. So I will insert a clip of that here.
Dribble.
Dribble, dribble, Gwen. Dribble.
Put your hands up. Turn and shoot.
Shoot, Gwen.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, Danielle, nice. Good job, Danielle.
Good shot, Danielle.
Okay, so then when I got home, I was just tired. I had a headache. I didn't want to do anything. You did? Well, yeah, it was a long day. Like, and I'd gone to work early, and it was just a really long day. So I read what I was supposed to in The Shadow of What Was Lost, and I am now on page 553. I haven't read today's. Today will put me up to page 600, which will only give us like 93 pages left until this book is done. And I'm still loving it. Like, it is so good. I actually got the second book. It arrived yesterday, and that is over there. And Cindy and I are probably going to want to start it right away, but I'm afraid to, because I still have to finish my buddy read of Ask Again Yes, which I didn't read my pages for yesterday. I'm currently in the middle of starting them for today. This will put me at page like 200 and something in this book. V's been really nice and said that if I want to skip today's reading, that's fine, because I have to catch up on yesterday's reading, which is really sweet of her. And it's hard because she's 9 hours ahead of me. So by the time I finish reading, it's going to be like about bedtime for her. So it's really hard to communicate that, but I might just send her a message and be like, hey, I'm reading today's reading right now, and then I'm done. And we'll just skip today's because it's so late. I just feel bad. But this one isn't very long. I mean, this book is just barely over 300 pages, so it shouldn't take me long to finish. And this will put us over page 200. And with her, I'm doing chapters instead of pages because she's listening on audio and I'm reading physically. So we're just doing by chapters. And then Shadow of What Was Lost should be done by Tuesday, unless I get a while to hurt my ass and like finish it, because like I'm having a hard time stopping. Like, we're getting right to the end. And if that's the case, then we may end up jumping into the next one, which I want to jump right into the next one because I know I'm going to want to. And I was talking to Jess from Jess Reads Books because I messaged her on Twitter and I was like, bitch, this is all your fault. Like, I'm so into this book and I already have the second one. And she was talking back and forth and she said that she's really happy that we're loving it and stuff like that, and asked what I thought. And I asked her, well, what did you think about the second book? And she goes, I fucking loved the second book. She goes, the first book I gave 4 stars. The second book I gave 5 stars. Which makes me go, holy fuck. Like, we're going to love the second book even more than the first. So I want to start it. But on the other hand, I'm like, I haven't even started Ninth House yet. And, you know, like, yeah, it'll be easy to finish this here within the next couple of days, and this should be done in the next couple of days, but then I still have to start the buddy read of Winter Garden with Vicky, and then if I start an Echo of Things to Come, that's like another buddy read. Like, I don't want to have 4 buddy reads going on at once or 3 buddy reads going on at once. Like, I'm not gonna be able to start anything else. But yeah, like, there's other books that I want to read and I need to get to, and I really want to read Ninth House. I have to read Ninth House this month. It's my booktube darling for the month. It's like, what did I get myself into? Like, but on the other hand, I'm reading, and I'm reading a lot, and I'm really happy, and I'm enjoying the books that I'm reading. And these have been great so far. Stop for a thumbnail. But yeah, they've been really great so far, so I'm excited to read them. And, you know, it's just hard for me because Ask Again Yes is a good book, but it's sad. It's a family story. It's a family drama from the time these kids, Kate and Peter are kids all the way up. And there's a lot of tragedy and a lot of trauma. So it's just a totally different speed than A Shadow of What Was Lost. Shadow is very, very fast-paced, epic fantasy. Like, there's something happening on every page. And then if I read that and then go into Ask Again Yes, it's a super slow burn and way more character driven and just way slower. And so it's hard flipping from what, you know, you've got a slow burn literary fiction and then you've got a super fast paced, super thick epic fantasy, and it's hard to flip between the two. Usually I enjoy, if I'm reading more than one book at a time, reading things of different genres, because then I'm not getting the stories confused, and there's no way to get the stories confused here. But I think once Shadow is done, then I'm going to start Ninth House and try to read at least 50 pages a day of that to, like, get that going. Because then by the time Shadow is done, if I take a week break before we start an Echo of Things to Come, which is longer than this one, it's over 700 pages. If I do that and take a break before I start the next one, then I should be able to have time to get this done and still read Ninth House and then be able to start Winter Garden so that I don't feel so overwhelmed. I also need to film. I need to figure out what my video is going to be for next week. I've been posting my vlogs every week, but then I need an actual, like, sit down video. And I think I'm going to do, I can't remember the subscriber that suggested it. I really apologize. But she asked if I could do the books I want to read in 2020 that are backlist that I didn't get to in 2019. So I've already made a list on my phone. There's like 6 or 7, maybe 8 books. So I will probably make that video next because it'll be easier. And then I need to start making all the end of the year videos, like best of the year, worst of the year. I think mine is going to be best of the year and the most disappointing because I didn't read any, like, bad books this year. And honestly, since I DNF so frequently and I do not read through shit books, that it'll be most disappointing, I think. Like, the ones that didn't turn out the way I thought. So I've got those 2 to do, plus a January TBR and like so much stuff happening. Plus Christmas is coming. Danielle has a tournament next week, but after her tournament next week, basketball is done. So then I will be free of sports until March, because softball signups are in January, and then in March is when they do their tryouts or where they kind of see how they are. I mean, last year there was only 1 team of majors, so it should be the same this year, I'm hoping, to where it doesn't matter. But then they have their tryouts, and then...
Is Christmas coming?
Yes, Christmas is coming, son. Yeah.
Christmas coming.
Okay. You need to go brush your teeth, please. Lucas, go brush your teeth, please. But anyways, yeah, so once tryouts or whatever are in March, then we start practicing in late March. So I'll have all of January and February with no sports. It's the only 2 months a year besides July. January, February, and July are the only 3 months of the year where I do not have a sport. Or Danielle doesn't have a sport. Because June, usually softball creeps into June. And so, I mean, it's only like half the month. And in August, usually the front part of our August is okay, but soccer creeps into the back of August. Though I don't know next year, because next year she's going to play school soccer and not city or county soccer. So if she doesn't play county soccer next year because she'll be playing school, then we won't have anything in August. It'll start right in September. So we'll see how this goes. But yeah, that's my little update. I'm going to do my reading for today. I've already started the reading for Ask Again Yes. I need to continue that and finish that so I can send via message and horrifically apologize to her. Then I'll read my reading for The Shadow of What Was Lost, and then I'm good for the day. But anyways, that's my little update. This is getting really shaky. Oh, if you're curious about the Funko Pops, for the last 2 days, because yesterday I opened one and I can't pronounce his name, Karakov, the guy from Durmstrang, the leader from Durmstrang, or their escort. And then today was one of the Weasley twins. No idea if it's Fred or George. It's just one of them. Fuck all which one it is. The one with the longer hair? Like, they both have long hair. Like, I can never tell Fred or George apart. So it's one of the Weasley twins, was today's. But yeah, that's my update, and I will see you guys later. Well, hello there. So it is Monday. This is my update. I'm been really lazy today, and in general, I keep forgetting to vlog and update, and last night I drank too much during the football game, which is to be expected because I was at home watching it with Matt and a friend of ours, and my team played like shit. So yeah, I just kept making more drinks, which probably wasn't a good idea, but hey, whatever. So today, Shadow of What Was Lost. I have not read any of that today, and I'm not going to. Cindy was unable to read yesterday because she worked a 16-hour day. So I decided to not read today's portion so that she can catch up to me. We only have 93 pages left. We're on around page 600, 601. So we're almost done. I really want to finish it so bad. And then Ask Again, Yes. I read a chapter of this today. Again, V got ahead of me. She's listening on audio. We started on chapter 13. We were only supposed to read chapter 13, 14, and 15 because with her on audio, we have to go by chapters, not pages. And these chapters are fucking long. So it's quite an undertaking. Well, she didn't stop until the narrator said chapter 17. So she's actually 2 chapters ahead. She's read 15 and 16. So she's 2 chapters ahead of me, or where we're supposed to be. And like, I'm having a hard time picking this one up today. Okay, for context, so from right now, mild spoilers for Ask Again, Yes. So this book is very, very depressing. It's not what I was expecting at all. I expected a more, not a slice of life, but more of a love story. And the love story is in there, and it is a literary fiction, and I'm not usually a big romance person, but from the flap and what it said, like the summary, which I guess you can't really go off a synopsis all the time because a lot of times they're misleading. But the synopsis of this book was 2 families live next door to each other. Both the dads are cops. The 2 kids grew up together and are really close and like have, loved each other since they were kids. Something drastic happens and then they're pulled apart. And the whole point spans over 20 years. And them finding each other again and all this stuff and resolving all the issues. So I went into it knowing that there was going to be a big happening, but I didn't realize how sad and depressing this book is. So like I'm not going to give away the big event that made them separate or made the families not talk anymore or whatever, because that's a huge spoiler and that doesn't happen until like 100 pages in or so.
It's gone.
What's gone?
The goldfish.
I'll tell Dad to get you more goldfish.
No big.
No big one? You want the bags?
The big one, please.
You want the big one?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want big goldfish?
Okay, you want the big goldfish. Okay, I'll tell Dad. Lucas gets home from school and immediately sets out a shopping list for whichever parent is not at home to get on their way home.
Mason?
Oh, did Mason help you with your medicine today?
Yes. So Nurse Annie's back.
Yeah, Nurse Annie's back. Are you happy about that?
Nurse Annie's back.
Are you happy Nurse Annie's back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ivy.
Okay. Go take your shoes off and put your stuff away, son. Apparently he had a day. But anyways, as I was saying, Ask Again, Yes is very dark. Like, I won't give the big event away because like I said, it's about 100 pages in and it's a spoiler and it was totally unexpected and not what I was expecting it to be. I expected it to be like a normal falling out and this was an extreme falling out. So that's like not really a spoiler. But as the book goes on, everything is super fucking dark. Okay. Everything is super dark. It's like I only read 1 chapter. Like, I don't think I'm going to read up to chapter 16. Like, V's going to have to wait for me because like, it's a lot. It's over 100 pages just to get where she's at. And she's listening on audio, which is a faster way. Like, I listen to audio on 1.5 speed, so I can get through it a lot faster. I guess I could try to switch to audio, but I haven't had much time to listen to audiobooks lately. And like, I've been blocking out time to read these buddy reads. So I don't know, like, and I only read the one chapter, and honestly, I got to the point where I was just like kind of depressed, like, and I'm like, I don't really want to continue reading because it's not a happy book. Maybe I'll just skim, just to get the important parts. And like, just for instance, okay, so this is a mild spoiler. I mean, it doesn't really have so far, like, it's not a huge effect on the book. It's compared to what happened earlier. But it was one chapter, and everything that happened in this chapter was Kate, who's one of the main kids. It's Kate and Peter. Peter's from one family, Kate's from the other. Kate's parents, so the husband, Francis, cheats on his wife of like 20, 30 something years. It has to be at least 30 years because Kate's the youngest and she's in her first year of college. Cheats on his wife because after something that happened, like they hadn't had sex in over 2 years. So he cheats on his wife for like a couple of months or whatever, ends it when he finds out she has fucking lung cancer. And it's like, so it's just a line of all these things because the big event kind of happened more central to their family. So that big event happened. He cheats on his wife. She ends up with fucking lung cancer. I'm like, what's next? Is one of the kids gonna die? It's just like all these really terrible things, and there's really no underlying of hope. And I think the relationship between Kate and Peter are supposed to be the hope. But at this point in the story, they haven't talked since they were 14, and they are now like 21 because the big event happened when they were 14. So they're not even like the hope. Like, I just don't, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things where it's like, I don't really want to read because it's just depressing. And like Shadow of What Was Lost, there's a lot of stuff that's happening in there that's kind of dire, but there's a really good core friendship, and like there's hope for what's happening. Even though the big bad is coming, there's still a hope there. And like, you want to keep reading because you want to see if it's going to get better and if the good guys are going to win, if that makes sense. Like with this, it just seems everything is terrible and dire. Like, is anything ever going to get better? And I'm sure it probably will, but it's like Sam said from Thoughts on Tomes, literary fictions tend to be where everything is terrible, 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 horrible. Something good happens, but then immediately goes down to terrible. It's like, I don't, you have to be in the right mood for that. And like, there's sometimes I just don't want to read that shit, which is super depressing. So I'm really struggling to pick that up. I only read one chapter today, and I need to read at least 2 more to be caught up with today's reading. I think I may just skim it, because if I get to where V's at, then we will only have like, I think about 100 or so pages left. And I want to get it done because the way this is going and with how depressing it is, it's shaping up to be like a 3-star. But I also started my buddy read with Vicky today, and we started Winter Garden by Kristen Hanna. So I'm now currently reading 3 books at once. My fantasy's almost done. There's only about 100 pages left. And after I get done with Ask Again Yes or where I need to be, it'll be about 100 pages. Excuse me, sir. What is with all the men in this house bothering me? What do you want, Herm? Look at, he's so cute.
Hermie, oh, you big fat boy. Oh, you're so fat.
You're laying on the books.
What?
It's not time for treats.
You are so fat. Oh, Hermie.
What? Look at you. You're so cute. Okay, anyways, enough Herman. But Winter Garden, we started today. Vicky actually messaged me yesterday and was upset because we were supposed to start it like 2 days ago, and I just totally forgot about it because she was reading another book and she wanted to finish that one, and it was kind of a bigger one. And I just told her, I'm like, that's fine, take your time, we can start it whenever, we've got the whole month. And so she apologized because her kids are sick, and she was like, I was supposed to start, I know I'm behind. I'm like, no, you didn't, I didn't start, I was waiting for you. Because I wanted her to give me the okay, like, let's go. So I said, let's just pick it up tomorrow. We'll start tomorrow. So 50 pages into this. The first 100 pages are a reread for me because I did start reading this about 6 months ago. And then when she said she wanted to read it, and we put it on the buddy read list, so I stopped. So it was just a refresher. And Winter Garden is pretty much a lot like Nightingale, only it's more Russia. So it's about 2 girls, or 2 women, Meredith and Nina, and their mother, Anya, is a very cold woman. She doesn't interact with the girls at all. She's always been really curt and mean and never close with the girls. She kind of treated them like shit, and their dad was the nice one and the one that treated them well. And it shows like an incident that happened in the 70s when they were little kids. That was kind of like the breaking point for Meredith, who's the older sister. And then you go into the present day. And what I love about this story is that it takes place in my state, it takes place in Washington State. And like, I know the places they're talking about, which I love because it, and from what I understand, Kristen Hanna lives in the Pacific Northwest, and she knows Washington so well. I'm pretty sure she lives in my state. but it's really atmospheric, and Kristen Hanna is really good with that. But Meredith and Nina in the present, they've gone their separate ways. Meredith has taken over the family business, and they run an apple orchard, a huge orchard and production and stuff of the apples and like shipping them out and all that. And which is so stereotypical Washington State, but she runs that. It was the family business, and she married her childhood sweetheart, has two grown daughters of her own who are now in college. And then Nina is a photographer, like a famous photographer that takes pictures of wartime or stuff in Africa, like the apartheid and stuff in Africa, like a Time magazine kind of like photographer. And so she's doing that or whatever. And Anya is still, their mother is still really cold. Their mother is now in her 80s. Her dad is still alive, but I guess mild spoiler, this happens in the first 50 pages. Her dad has a massive heart attack, and he's probably going to die. So Nina, of course, has to come home. And I think this is where it's going to start, where Anya's going to break her silence and stop being like a bitch to her daughters and tell them her history and why she is the way she is, and she's from Russia. So I know there's a good chunk of this book, and I'm assuming it's going to go back and forth like Nightingale did, to where Ani's going to tell the girls the story of her being in World War II Russia, which World War II Russia is very different from like France or Germany and all that stuff. So I'm curious to see how that goes, especially just reading The Huntress and getting Nina's perspective of World War II Russia. So I'm excited. Well, that was World War II Russia. So I'm excited to get into it, and Vicky's liking it so far. I mean, granted, we're only 50 pages in, so it doesn't really count. But yeah, I've been blabbering on for 13 minutes. I know a good chunk of that was Lucas telling me about his day, but yeah, I think I'm going to go. I need to read more of Ask Again Yes, trying to catch up on BookTube, and then my dumbass has decided to rewatch Grey's Anatomy from the beginning because I'm a glutton for punishment. So yeah, I'm not picking anything else up. Ninth House will be the next book I pick up once one of these fuckers gets finished. Shadow of What Was Lost will probably get finished first. And then Ask Again Yes. Then I need to pick up Ninth House. I also got my 3 Book of the Month books today for December. And I really want to read The Wives by Taryn Fisher. And it's Book of the Month, book reading month. So that one I want to pick up too. I might swap that one out for Necessary People and read The Wives and the Lisa Joel book, but we'll see how it goes. Anyways, yeah, so reading 3 books at once, and yeah, this is the story of my life. But I'm gonna go finish my Ask Again Yes reading, so I at least feel somewhat accomplished today, but I'll check in with you guys later. Happy Tuesday, guys. I'm irritated. I just filmed a video. It's currently, what is it doing? Exporting, and then I have to load it up to YouTube and do the thumbnail, and you guys will have already seen it by the time you see this, but the lighting is the same as it was when I filmed. Actually, it's probably worse now, and on my phone it looks way better and more clear with less shadows than it did filming with my little digital camera. So either I'm gonna have to start filming like all winter, like all of my sit down videos on my phone and figure out a way to do that, or I'm gonna have to get myself a little ring light, because I was so mad editing that video. And I tried to use an editing, I brightened it up, and you can see it at the beginning, but then it slowly goes down. That wasn't the editing software. That was literally the light getting darker at 10 a.m. It's so stupid. I swear natural light is shit in the Pacific Northwest from October to March, because it's just cloudy and like it's been foggy the last couple of days and rainy. And it just fucking irritates the hell out of me. And yeah, so I apologize for that video's lighting is really shit. I could have refilmed it, but I literally don't have time to refilm it. I need to post it today to keep on my schedule of things. And so I couldn't refilm it. Like, I didn't have time, and today's a busy day as it is anyways, with all the reading and then the filming and the editing and the uploading and the kids coming home, and I have a graveyard tonight. And can you tell I'm irritated? I'm just irritated. So I'm really sorry for the shitty quality of that video. Like, I almost didn't want to post it, but I just liked how my personality came out in it. If that sounds so weird to say, but I just like the flow of it. I just wish the lighting was better, and I'm really, really sorry that it's really dark. And I hope you still enjoyed like the books I talked about, even if the lighting was shit. Okay, if you want to go reading update, Winter Garden by Kristen Hanna. I've done my reading for this today. I'm buddy reading this with Vicky. We are now 100 pages in. Haven't gotten to the actual World War II part of it yet. We're just getting into the still of the setup. I have a feeling that's coming next because 100 pages in, we should be getting into the nitty gritty, and we're not yet. Shadow of What Was Lost, I'm not picking it up. I haven't done the reading for it today. I literally have just under 100 pages left. I'll probably finish it tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna get to the reading today, which is gonna, I'll tell Cindy that I probably won't get to the reading today. I heard from her a little bit this morning, but I haven't heard about her, or heard from her yet about what she's read. And I really want to finish that book, but it's just, I'm irritated, so I can't really concentrate, and I'm really tired. I didn't sleep well last night, and now I'm just whining, but it just, and it didn't help also that Ask Again Yes by Mary Beth Keane. I finished this today. I wasn't supposed to finish it until tomorrow, but I decided to read ahead. I'm buddy reading this with V, and it's been a good buddy read, but a tough one at the same time because she lives in the Netherlands, so the time difference is 9 hours. So when she's messaging me during the middle of the day for her, it's like 4 a.m. for me, and you know, which works great because I'm usually at work by that time. So like I can respond, but it's hard to respond and have a conversation with somebody while you're working. It still worked out. We were still able to talk. And V, please don't get discouraged listening to this. I really enjoyed buddy reading this with you, and if we can do one again, I'd totally be down to do that. But when I read the 3 chapters today, she's ended up reading ahead a couple of days on accident. And after reading the 3 today, there was only about 30 pages left. So I just decided to finish it off, 30 or 40 pages. Oh my God, it's getting tired of holding. So I decided to finish it off. And I gave it 2 stars. I'll talk more about it in my wrap up for December, but this is definitely not what I thought it was going to be. I really didn't like it. Even the ending was anticlimactic and not that great. And I just didn't enjoy it. I can't even say it was good because it really wasn't that good. V was enjoying it more than me. And I know Vicky gave it 4 stars. I know she really enjoyed it. And I usually like literary fiction, but this was one of those cases where everything was bad, everything was depressing, everything was dire. Even after things started to slightly get better, it didn't even get that much better. And the one thing with this that totally cemented for me that this was like a wah, wah, sob, sob, let's just go over all the bad things in life, is there were time jumps. And the time jumps were instantaneous in the same chapter, only separated by like a break, like a line across the page. And it would jump like 10, 15, 20 years in these characters' lives just so you could skip past all the good stuff, like them being happy and getting married and the birth of their children and all that stuff. Let's skip past all of that nice, happy, fun, good times and get right to the shitty parts. Let's just get right to the bad stuff. And why? Like, if you're going to do a slice of life story, you need to do the good with the bad. Like, I don't mind slice of life stories. I like family dramas. I like most literary fiction. But if you're going to just jump to all the bad things and skip out and leave all of the good things, life isn't all about bad stuff. There's a lot of good and there's bad too. You got to cover all of it if you're doing a slice of life. And they didn't. It was all bad, 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 bad. It's stupid. And the way it ended, again, anticlimactic. It gets 2 stars. Like, I don't know why everybody, it's got an average of like 4.09 or something on Goodreads. It was in the running for the Goodreads Choice Awards, and it's in the running for Book of the Month's Best Book of the Year, and I really hope it doesn't win because it was shit. So, Winter Garden, barely in 200 pages in. I need to finish The Shadow of What Was Lost. I might get around to my reading today. If not, I'll read tomorrow. And that's part of the reason why I read ahead on Ask Again Yes and just finished out the book, because tonight's my graveyard. I'm going to spend most of the morning tomorrow sleeping, and then I go into my days off. But I won't have much time to read tomorrow, or if I do, I'm not going to want to because I'm going to be tired. It's, graveyards take a lot out of me, and even when I nap, I still wake up and feel kind of sluggish and for the rest of the day. So I didn't want to. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to have time to do 3 buddy reads, finish 2 of them, and then still have Winter Garden. That's a lot to read in one day when I'm already really tired. So Ask Again Yes is now done. Tomorrow, I should be able to finish The Shadow of What Was Lost, either if I do my pages today and then tomorrow's, or if I do it all tomorrow. I will definitely finish that one and then get to 150 with Winter Garden with Vicky. So then hopefully I can start 9th House. So next week when in the vlog, I should be starting 9th House. So I only have the 1 buddy read and I can start 9th House, and I won't be reading like 3 books at once and have at least 2 finished. because ninth house is the next one I need to fucking start. We're already 10 days in. I've only finished one, about to finish another. I need to get ninth house started. But I think I'm going to end the vlog here because, again, in my world, Wednesdays don't exist when it comes to vlogs. Last week was the first time that it did. So yeah, I don't like filming in front of my husband. I find it really odd. I mean, if he's in it and he's being involved in what I'm doing, then it's fine. But me just here talking to myself and it's just weird. I feel weird with him hearing, even though he totally supports me and supports my channel and all that, he doesn't care. But I feel more comfortable filming around the kids. Like, the kids are totally fine. And like, you know, Danielle will try to talk to you guys from like away or whatever. Like, the kids are fine. Like, but with my husband, I just feel weird and it's stupid. So yeah, I'm going to end the vlog here because tomorrow, Thursday, we'll be editing the vlog, getting it all together so it can post on Friday, hopefully. Yeah, so I will maybe start next week's vlog tomorrow. If not, then I will start it on Thursday. And, you know, leave it to me to be the odd bitch out who, like, doesn't go, like, Monday through Sunday or Sunday through Saturday. Like, I start my vlogs on Wednesdays or, like, Thursdays. I think the reason I start them then is because Thursday and Friday are my days off, so that if I'm going to do any extra reading, it's going to be then usually. And it's just easier for me to start then, I guess. Like, I don't know. Maybe I just gotta be different. Either way, I at least keep them a week. But yeah, that's it for this vlog. A lot of reading got done in this vlog. I made a lot of progress, finished a book almost, and I started it this week, I think, didn't I? Or did I start it last? No, I think I started it this week. I can't remember. Maybe I did start it last week. Who fucking knows? I can't tell what day of the week it is half the time. But I got a book read this week. First book read in December. And then, you know, I should get The Shadow of What Was Lost finished within the next day, either today. If I do finish it today, I'll pop in and be like, finished it, but I doubt I'm gonna. I'll finish it tomorrow. So yeah, but that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for supporting me, and like, you know, I'm getting more comfortable vlogging and I'm actually really starting to enjoy it. So, you know, thanks for watching. Please say hi in the comments below. I love talking to you guys. If you've read Ask Again Yes, I want to know your thoughts on it because I want to know if it's just me who felt this way or if anybody else did. So please let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.